journey in space or time has its beginning. For Sofia Airport, this journey began on September 16, 1937, when the Bulgarian king Boris III signed the decree by virtue of which the lands in the eastern region of the city were allocated to the construction and development of a big airport. The new airport's first reception building was constructed in 1939 and was situated in the northern area of the present-day Sofia Airport. Initially, aircraft landed and took off on an unpaved grass-covered runway, when in 1948 a modern concrete runway was constructed and commissioned into operation. Its length was 1,050 meters, and that was absolutely enough to meet the requirements of the aircraft technology in those days. In the meantime, the new reception building in the southern airport area was completed, at a location of some 10 kilometers from the city centre. By the end of the 50s, the civil aviation saw the arrival of turbojet aircraft, whose powerful engines necessitated an extension of the runway at Sofia Airport. Major repairs were done, and the runway length was extended to 2,720 meters. Over the following years, the runway underwent several modernizations, contemporary aeronautical systems were installed. The new turbojet aircraft made possible for the airlines to fly faster and further, carrying more passengers on board. New flight routes emerged on the world map, and the ticket fares got more and more affordable. The passenger terminal at Sofia Airport became small for the soaring traffic. The comfort of the passengers was then ensured by means of two satellite buildings constructed to the main terminal. A separate hall was constructed to service the numerous daily domestic flights, which carried almost half of the passengers passing via Sofia Airport at that time. Several years later, a new hall, equipped with contemporary fast and high-standard baggage reclaim facilities, opened doors for international arrivals. The second half of the 80s marked the peak of the Bulgarian civil aviation. Sofia Airport handled more than 2 million passengers per year. Many of them came from the Middle East and Africa and continued their travelling along European destinations. The terminal building was again reconstructed and refurbished, and its viewing terrace was transformed into a separate transfer passenger area. Up to this day, the interior of Terminal 1 Departures Lounge attracts attention with architectural elements that can no longer be seen at modern airports. Beautiful marble tiling, chandeliers of wrought iron, mosaic wall panels depicting Bulgarian and post-war European maps. In the early 90s, Bulgaria began economic and political transformations. The government made a decision to close down the Bulgarian Civil Aviation State Holding Company, which at the time was managing the Balkan Bulgarian Airlines, the specialized aviation service provider Hemos Air, the airport complexes of Sofia, Varna and Burgas, the Air Traffic Services Authority and the Aviation Training Center. A separate company, Sofia Airport, was established, whose young managing team set out bravely to new horizons. The last decade of the 20th century was marked by great changes in the economic and social life in Bulgaria. Gradually, Bulgaria opened up for new technologies and new partnerships and became more attractive for foreign investors. The number of the international journeys undertaken by Bulgarian citizens increased. The national carrier, Balkan Bulgarian Airlines, modernized its fleet with Western airplanes and launched new year-round routes from Sofia Airport. On the eve of the new century, a new master plan for airport development was approved. Its main objective was to prepare Sofia Airport for the new market challenges and ensure the capacity needed for the fast-developing aviation sector. providing a contemporary airport service standard and high level of flight safety and security.
За да може летище София да изглежда така, както изглежда в момента, беше вложен труда на десетки на стотици хора. Последният проект за развитие и реконструкция на летище София беше стартиран през 2003, като бяха подписани два договора за строителство на нова писта и на нова терминална сграда. Строителството продължи около 4 години и беше построена нова писта с дължина 3600 метра и ширина 60 метра и нова терминална сграда.
Sofia Airport commissioned its new runway at midnight on the 31st of August 2006. The runway used up until then was extended and transformed into a high-speed taxiway, enabling the arriving aircraft to quickly reach the apron stands in front of the terminal. Aeronautical equipment was installed, providing a possibility for landing in low visibility conditions, Category 3A, as per the ICAO standards. The new runway system made provision for 20 aircraft movements per hour, a capacity that rapidly began to be reached in the following years. As early as 2008, the number of aircraft handled at Sofia Airport was 2 times higher compared to that in 2002. The aircraft carried more and more passengers. While the construction of the new terminal reception building was underway, the operational terminal could hardly meet the traffic needs. The last extension and reconstruction of Terminal 1, completed in the year 2000, increased its capacity to 1.8 million passengers per year. For the construction of Terminal 2, a loan contract was signed with the European Investment Bank. Funds were granted also from the EU ISPA pre-accession fund and from the national budget. The end price of this facility amounted to €108 million. The official opening of the long-craved new passenger terminal at Sofia Airport took place on December 27, 2006, 4 days before the date on which the Republic of Bulgaria became a regular EU member. In the spacious terminal halls, impatiently expecting passengers and guests, a Bulgarian song was played. Years before, that same song had been recorded on a golden disc and sent into the space on board of Voyager 1 as a part of the message from the Earth civilization. Terminal 2 spreads on an area of 56,500 square meters. This is the first airport terminal in Bulgaria that has 7 passenger boarding bridges, by means of which the boarding time is reduced to a few minutes. From 4 gates at the level 0 of the pier, apron buses take passengers to aircraft parked at the remote stands. The 4-story parking garage provides 800 parking spaces. A passageway and elevators connect the parking garage to the terminal halls. The access to the different levels of Terminal 2 is facilitated by 12 elevators and 7 escalators. The new terminal building was designed to allow the handling of 2,000 passengers at peak hours. At the time of its design, the experts estimated that Sofia Airport would reach the figure of 2.4 million passengers in 2013. This figure was exceeded 6 years earlier. Sofia Airport was the first in the history of Bulgarian civil aviation to reach the record number of 3 million handled passengers in 2008. Sofia Airport continues to develop even in the years of economic recession. In 2012, the biggest Bulgarian airport will welcome 3.5 million passengers.
Ръководството на летище София си е поставило амбициозни планове за развитие на летището, които включват разширение на терминал 2 и съответно изграждането на нов терминал на мястото на терминал 1, който да обработва около 5 милиона и половина пътници на година с две галерии и около 15 нови ръкава. Освен това, следващата година ще бъде разработен нов генерален план на летище София, стартира се процедура за проектиране на нови пътеки за ролиране, перони и нови стоянки за самолетообслужващата техника. По този начин ще се повиши капацитета на летището, а също така ще се подобри обслужването на пътниците.
Днес регистрацията на пътници на летище София е улеснена от тези машини, които са позиционирани в салона на летище София за самостоятелна регистрация, така наречените self-check-in киоски, които са отворени 2 часа преди полета. Пътника се чекира на тях, получава бордна карта и ако няма багаж за регистриране, може да се отправи директно към security и граничен контрол. Също така може да бъде чекиран по интернет, още от къщи или от дома си. Когато дойде на летище София, ако има багаж за регистрация, този багаж може да се предаде на съответните гишета, които са обозначени за чекиране на пътници по интернет. В миналото пътника се регистрираше на гишетата на чекин, което отнемаше доста време. Опашки се получаваха, времето за регистрация се удължаваше, чакаше се повече. Докато днес всичко това е направено за улеснение на пътника и за спестяване на време.
Моля пътниците на Балкан, заминаващи по 307 рейс за Москва, да се явят на гише номер 2 за оформяне на билетите и багажите. Прошу пасажира в Балкана, вылетающих по маршруту София-Москва, подойти к стойке номер 2 для оформления билетов и багажа. Check-in to Moscow, desk number 2, please. Check-in to Moscow, desk number 2, please. Ако в Moscow, гише номер 8.
The modern baggage handling system at Terminal 2, incorporating an automatic baggage sorter and 4-level security control, enables timely and correct routing of passenger baggage from Sofia Airport. Sofia Airport renovation has never stopped. In 2012, a new air traffic control tower is expected to become operational. The 50-metre-tall ATC tower is characterised by high functionality and modern architectural design, which fits elegantly into the overall architectural ensemble of Terminal 2. Terminal 2 has a commercial area of 4,000 square meters. Here, passengers can seize the last opportunity to buy a small souvenir from Bulgaria, an interesting book to read on the way, or a travel accessory. To all departing or arriving passengers at Sofia Airport, the duty-free and travel retail shops labelled SA offer a wide range of prestigious brands of cosmetics, fragrance, chocolate products and sweets at very attractive prices. A bottle of wine or brandy from the exquisite selection of shops SA Spirit of Bulgaria is a souvenir that can please both a friend and a business partner. The spacious halls of Terminal 2 offer enough places to wait before a flight. Yet whoever wishes may indulge in the coziness of the special lounges bearing the names of the ancient Bulgarian capitals, Pliska and Preslav. These lounges welcome each guest with traditional Bulgarian hospitality and delicate attention. Sofia Airport has great experience in handling of passengers, baggage, airplanes, cargo and mail. Today, a full handling within the agreed minimum turnaround time has been guaranteed to 98 of every 100 arriving aircraft. In the course of decades, the airport staff has been meeting the challenges of the rapidly developing aviation sector. New types of aircraft, new technologies, higher and higher requirements related not only to safety, but also to fast and adequate ground handling. The experience and skills, combined with the ambition of the young team, made the airport ground handling operator a preferred partner for more than 40 carriers, passenger airlines, cargo and business aviation. "365 days a year, 24 hours a day. With its modern equipment and well-trained staff, Sofia Airport is ever available."
Какъв приятен ден за полети.
Да.
Имаше години, когато летището се затваряше продължително за по няколко дни, като рекорда е 9 дни. През тези 9 дни многократно пътниците ги разкарахме с автобусите от летището до хотелите и обратно. Мъчехме се по всякакъв начин да ги транспортираме до близки летища в съседни държави, като Солун, като Скопие, за да може по някакъв начин да превозим и пътниците. Летището беше малко и всеки може да си направи сметка за 9 дни събрани пътниците какво представляваше тогава. По същия начин години наред беше проблемно и снегопочистването на летището. С стара техника, пак поради същи причини, имахме с дни анулирани полети, докато сега вече е съвсем друго. И най-дългият период на затваряне не е повече от час и половина, и то при обилни снеговалежи. В това отношение доста се направи за закупуването на нова техника, за обучението на персонала и ефектът е видим за всички служители и пътници на летище София.
The daily operation of Sofia Airport is bound to the daily care for the environment. In low winter temperatures, aircraft are treated with an anti-icing chemical liquid. This treatment is done on 2 specialized platforms equipped with underground tanks, preventing soil and water pollution. The new runway is situated to the east, crossing Iskra River over the bridge facility, farther from the densely populated residential areas in the vicinity of Sofia Airport. The runway layout and modern aircraft that Sofia Airport welcomes today considerably help reduce the noise impact on the city environment. 2009 saw the completion of a facility that is unique for the Balkans, a noise protection screen at the engine run-up bay. The related investment of approximately €3 million was a reasonable management step because for a few years only the respected German MRO company Lufthansa Technik has deployed at Sofia Airport one of its largest European bases for aircraft maintenance and overhaul. Given the increasing number of aircraft engine tests, the protection screen ensures a considerable noise abatement effect. The new Terminal 2 at Sofia Airport fits properly into the surrounding environment. The old quarry nearby is now a landscaped area decorated with different plants and various architectural forms which make a unique airport park. Spreading across 365 acres, with its alley network, amphitheatre and lake, this park has gradually become an attractive recreation and entertainment area, an alternative open-air stage for the 2 million Bulgarian capital. Situated on a crossroad of continents and civilizations, in its long history, Sofia has always been connected to the rest of the world. The beginning of the 20th century saw an exponential progress in technologies, among which was the civil aviation. Bulgaria was one of the aircraft-producing countries and among the first 30 states that signed the Warsaw Convention of 1929, a document that set up the basis for commercial air carriage. In the summer of 1947, an official ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrated the first scheduled passenger flight from Sofia Airport to Burgas.
Притежателката на билет номер 1 е готова да заеме мястото си. Настъпва тържественият момент. С думите "Нека това начало да даде богати плодове за нашата родина", министър-председателят откри първата въздушна линия София-Бургас.
In the next 40 years, air communications to the capital city were launched from a number of other domestic airports. (1948) marked the start of international passenger flights. The first route was Sofia, Belgrade, Budapest, Prague. Sofia Airport began accepting foreign airlines from Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. The national air carrier Balkan Bulgarian Airlines operated flights from Sofia to 4 continents. New air routes were launched and aircraft fleet modernized. The first year of the new millennium was the hardest for the Bulgarian civil aviation and for Sofia Airport. After an unsuccessful privatization, the national carrier Balkan Bulgarian Airlines was announced bankrupt and ceased its operations. A year later, the government set up a new airline, Bulgaria Air. Over the next decade, this airline managed to recover customers' trust and take a leading position in the local market. Today, Sofia Airport remains attractive for a number of world-famous airlines: Lufthansa, Air France, British Airways, Aeroflot and many other carriers provide daily connections to various points across the world. Air travel is getting more and more affordable with the low-cost carriers, which have rapidly been expanding their share on the single European market. In the end of 2005, Sofia Airport welcomed the first budget carrier, the Hungarian Wizz Air. 7 years later, the airline flies from Sofia to a number of European destinations and is preferred by 1/5 of the departing passengers. In the next years, Sofia Airport expects to welcome new carriers, which will connect Bulgaria to near and far countries. Air travel to booming market countries or exotic tourist destinations will become easier and much more comfortable.
Кани пътниците за полет Air France 2487, компания член на SkyTeam за Париж, да се явят за регистрация на билетите и багажите.
Sofia Airport is eager to apply the latest technological innovations aimed at further facilitating passenger convenience. The newest facilities for arriving passengers implemented in August 2012 are the automated border control gates. The e-gates have been installed under a project of the EU External Borders Fund and represent one of the steps that Bulgaria has undertaken towards its membership in the Schengen area. Every year, the number of tourists arriving at Sofia Airport increases. Some prefer to remain in the capital city, which attracts Bulgarian and foreign visitors with diversity of accommodation, entertainment, interesting sports and cultural events, or ancient monuments reflecting history of millennia. Others prefer to stay in their favourite ski or spa resorts, or to visit other, not-so-famous cultural, historic or natural sites in the countryside that rapidly gain popularity. In the year of its 75th anniversary, Sofia Airport looks into the future with self-confidence built up over years of experience and backed up by the trust of its partners and the recognition of the experts.